Hello, everyone. I'm just trying to figure some things out. Give me just a minute here. Okay, so there's just a few things. Hello, welcome to Mentoria Moments. I just wanted to discuss a few things today. Sorry if I'm not looking right at the camera. I am trying to figure out some things here on my end. I am new to this, so bear with me. I just wanted to talk about a few things that really impact the Black families, and us as parents need to consider. I made a list. I'm gonna follow this list. Not necessarily. It's not in no particular order. It's just that I don't want to forget, and I tend to do that um, when. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, even when our kids are young. It's very important that we don't take away their voice. Sometimes when a kid is upset or sad, and we very seldom don't ask what's wrong. It's just when they're upset and voicing their opinion, we tend to want to cut them off, shut up, don't talk back, and don't give them the ability to really voice their, how they're feeling. And it's like, shut up, whatever the case may be. It's like, and that one saying, like, people think their kids are being disrespectful. This is the main one. When a kid asks why, you ask why, because I said so. Because I said so is not an answer. When they say why, we need to stop taking it as if they're being disrespectful. Maybe they just want to understand. you know. So I think we need to be cautious. And when our kids are coming to us and we're telling them to do something, and we just say because I said so, um, that's not a good enough answer. Maybe they're really wanting to understand why they have to do certain things. Not saying that they're not gonna do it, that they don't want to do it, and maybe they don't. But I think it's important that we try to explain to our children, exactly why, these things are. And these things that I'm speaking of are not things that I knew. I was a parent at the young age of 16. So, I had to learn the hard way, and so did my kids. So I'm not sitting here saying that I'm perfect or that it was always this way for me. But Over the years, with talking to my kids, this is just what I've been told. Okay. So, one thing I really have a problem with is people putting their kids out just because they turned 18 or that they graduated from high school. Just because they are considered legal adults don't mean that they're ready for the real world. You got to really know the maturity level of your kids. You got to really understand how much you have prepared them for the real world. Um, you just can't throw your kids to the wolves just because they turn 18, especially if you haven't prepared them for that. If you have not gave equipped them with the maturity, with the education of finances, teaching them how to work, save their money, build their credit, and things of that nature, how to cook, how to clean, problem solving. And the problem with problem solving is that you always tell them what to do this, do this, do it, shut up, just do it. To the point where when they have a problem, they calling you because they don't know what to do. They so used to you telling them what to do that when it's time for them to do it themselves, they're clueless. Okay. And let's see what else here. Okay. Stop wanting your kids to be afraid of you. You know, you make them scared to even come to you. They're scared they're gonna get a whooping. They're scared they're gonna do this. They're scared this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen. And I even asked someone if your child or grandchild was to come to you and be perfectly honest with them, what would you do? She was like, I'll still beat them. I have a thing with my kids to where if they are totally honest with me about what it is that's going on, then there wouldn't be any punishment. We'll work it out because they were honest. But if I find out they lied, then there's going to be repercussions for that. But my thing is, don't tell the kids that you can come to me, you can talk to me, and when they finally open up and then you hear something you don't like, now you're ready to break their neck. It don't work like that. You know, trust is given and earned regardless. Just because they're young adults, kids, or whatever, don't mean that they don't deserve respect. Now, like I said, some of these things I had to learn over time when I seen that it just wasn't working with the way I was trying to demand certain things. I had to realize if I didn't want to lose my kids, I had to switch it up and try something different. And this is my biggest one right here. I'm gonna save that one for last. My next one is when our kids we nobody want their babies to grow up and become adults. It's like they're fighting for their independence. You're fighting to keep them as babies. We have to know when to let go. And that is so hard. And I'm sitting here saying this to you all, and I struggle with that because we don't ever want to let go of our babies. I know I don't. It's hard to send them out into this world on their own. You just want the best for them. You want to be able to protect them, all that. So it is very difficult to like let go. So I understand everyone who struggles with that, because that is like one of my biggest struggles is sending my kids out there. But I just had to say, God, I know you love me and my kids more than I can ever love myself or them. And now that they are adults, I give them back to you because at the end of the day, You're going to be there for them and see the things and when I can't. So, Lord, please watch over my babies. I give them back to you, Lord. That is like the hardest thing for me. But last and not least, this is the biggest one. And this happened more than people want to admit. Okay, mothers, let me look at you. Okay. I don't know what you did when you were a teenager, how hot and hard headed you were, but just because you were, don't assume your kids are going to be just like you, okay? Okay. Just because you were like that, you can't try to hold your kids, keep them in a shell, and keep them from doing things, going places, doing this and doing that because you're scared they're gonna do the same sneaky little things you did when you were their age, okay? And I say this, and I'm included in this, okay? I was a young mother, okay? So my biggest thing is for my kids not to become young mothers like I did. It took my daughter to say, "Mom, I'm not you," and I'm like, "You are so right." I am so glad I gave my kids a voice to where they will voice their opinions to me because it helped me open my eyes. This has been a process. You know, they wasn't afraid to come to me and tell the truth. They wasn't afraid to speak to me and tell me how they feel. They wasn't afraid because I never made them afraid. And the communication was always, they knew that the communication was always available. So I don't know if I'm gonna post this or not. This video, looking up, I don't like this camera, but we'll try it again if it don't look right. But that's all I wanted to share tonight. We need to start allowing our kids to be able to blossom and figure out who they are and who they're going to be. We can't dictate their every step because when we're not there anymore, they're looking for somebody else to dictate those steps for them. So please, 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 we have to stop doing these things to our kids. Allow them to be who they're going to be. Help them along the way. You walk behind them. If they slip and fall, you be there to catch them or pick them up. But we have to allow them to think for themselves, figure out who they're going to be. Our job as parents is to love them, even if and no matter what. And when you learn to do that, the relationship between you and your kids will become a better one. Trust me, I know. Pray for me, and I'll pray for you. And until next time, go on about your business and have a blessed day.